Yo, yo, back
How
at it.
are you? Back at it again. We are.
Ready and rolling.
Yes. It's Monday Night Besties. You know who it is? It's me. I'm Amanda Savage. If you have read any WrestleTalk.com articles while you were on the toilet this month, it probably has a fairly good chance of being written by me. So that's my claim to fame. Who are
That's right.
you?
That's right. I'm DC Hendricks, everybody. If you're just tuning in for the first time, um, I do a little bit of everything. I mean, little bit for Body Slam. I try to write for Body Slam a little bit. Daily DDT. I got WrestleHolics, so I'm on a few
Yeah.
different platforms talking all things wrestling. But I guess that's my claim to fame, right?
Yeah. And just all around good guy. He's fun to follow. He always has just like good vibes, honestly. So follow DC Hendricks. I don't know what vibes I bring to the table, but you could follow me too if you want. You can just Google around on that. You know what else you could do is you could send us a super chat because no such thing has ever happened, and I would like to see what happens. So if you can hear this, you can send a super chat. You can also go to slamchats.com. I didn't
Right.
need anyone to remind me how to say it today for the first time, I think, in the totality of this show. So I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah, check it out. Send us some love there. Definitely. Let us know how you're feeling about tonight's Raw. You know what? I get
Right.
so excited when I see like the little thumbs up. So like if you are on, if I can see like some people are watching this on Facebook, some people are watching it on Twitter, just like leave a little whatever you're on. You know what I mean? It's so cute and it shows up and I get so excited. So do it for me. Do it to annoy DC slightly because I do think that when stuff pops up and I'm like, oh, and it's like
Like, what the hell is she looking at now?
what is she doing? So I try not to be too ridiculous, but it does happen every now and again. Yeah, let us know how Raw was for you. I think that I know what I want to talk about straight away.
What's number one?
How are we feeling about okay, it's the Pure
Oh
Fusion
my god.
Collective or Collection?
Pure Fusion Collective.
Collective. Okay. When I wrote it the first time, I think I wrote collection and I was like, collection, that doesn't seem right. So yeah, collective. Okay. I don't get it. So I think maybe it's like one of those that needs to be explained to me, maybe. You know, sometimes they'll come out with like an article later, like there'll be some
So Fusion, it's so basic, right? It's Pure Fusion Collective. So pure, we know what pure is. Like,
yeah.
so the definition of pure, I guess, would be um free of something, not mixed or altered, something
Okay.
pure, fresh.
Mm,
And then fusion means more than two things joining together. And
okay.
then collective means collective. I mean, I really don't
Sure.
know the
Oh.
actual definition of that, but it's like
Um,
very, very basic. We got to do something about these names, Amanda. Like, this is getting like, look, we've given them passes, but like,
we really have. I always
this
am just
is.
like, oh, it's
Look,
okay.
I am Mr. Positivity
Yeah, me
pretty
too.
often,
Yeah,
but what in the hell are these names? Like, American Made, first of all, is like, I can't stand it. Like, every time they say it, it's like nails to a chalkboard.
oh,
Like,
see, I kind of like it because I think it's like I think that one has some like interesting undertones perhaps that I'm not sure they are even meaning to do. So that's why I kind of
mm,
I'm enthralled by that one. I don't want to sometimes I say I don't get something and that's like Amanda speak for I don't like it and I just like kind of am scared to say I don't like things. But I don't love this name. I don't think it's the worst, but I also think that there could be like
that would be a fun thing to come up with. Is so if this isn't the worst, then what is? It's got to be close. Pure Fusion Collective. Too long, first of
there's
all.
another weird one that I always type out that I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, I'll have to think of it. I hated No Quarter Catch Crew at first. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the crew, like I love it. So maybe I'll like
Yeah.
come around to
What
this.
was I'm trying to think of some. There are some bad ones. That's gotta be up there though. I
Well,
really
this
wasn't big with Retribution either. I really wasn't too big on that name either.
one's pretty not the best, so that's kind of hard. I do love all of the members, and I am glad that they didn't make something like, you know,
Wasn't
I
there
thought
one
they were
like
gonna make something like, because I feel like online
wasn't there
enjoyed
one
this
like called
bloodline.
the Welcoming Committee or something like that?
Yes,
That's
yes,
not
I
good
believe
either.
so. Yes, I believe so. That
The
one is not
Welcoming
the best.
Committee. Who was in that? Do you remember? I know it was Natalia,
Yeah, I wrote an article about it because I looked it up and I was
Carmella.
like, "Huh, wow,
I
okay."
remember Natalia and Carmella were in it, but I don't remember who else was in it. There's been some bad names, but Pure Fusion Collective has got to be. So send those comments in if you can think of some other bad faction stable names. I
Yeah.
think Pure Fusion Collective. First of all, it's too long. Like
I
it's too
also feel
long.
like there's like a gym in my town named this already or something. Like it seemed so familiar to me that I was like, wait, can they even do this? This seems like that's something that might just already be like a suburban fancy girl gym named this around me. That is why I'm
Yeah,
so confused. But yeah, I'm not so sure.
I thought they
Uh,
did really good. I like Unholy Union.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
that name. I
yeah,
think that's a good name. Damage Control, the
yeah,
Bloodline,
yeah.
the Judgment Day, which the Judgment Day at first kind of felt this way. So maybe after a while we
That's
will
true.
adapt to it.
It's
Maybe
true.
American Made might make me, you know, take it in after a little bit. But I'm going to be honest. Pure Fusion Collective will never. I will never. It don't sound right. It's
How long do you reckon they'll be together? Like, I don't want to be like that, but like, how some things just you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna stick.
yeah. I don't know if it's going to work. I mean, I think they're going to be together for a while because I think they're really trying to push them, and I think they're actually going to win the titles in the triple threat next week. I have a feeling that they're going to win. So I think we will be getting them for a while. So we could be forced to get used to them.
Oh, Jeffrey has an excellent comment. I'm so sorry I have to put these grainy glasses on. Otherwise, I can't see. Oh my god, I shouldn't do my fake British accent. That would be Pure Fusion sounds like a cocktail drink. I'll have a Pure Fusion on the rocks.
Right.
Yes, it sounds like
Yes.
a drink. Or I think it is like a also it sounds like a dance group. Yes, I think it does. It
That's
definitely
a good
doesn't
one.
sound
Like a
like,
90s dance group,
yeah.
like a one-hit
No,
wonder from the
really.
90s.
Literally.
That was
Literally.
good. That was good.
Yes. Um
Yeah, it's bad. Like, I'm
oh
sorry.
hey, this also I was Seiko fan. I do love this, and I have noticed this. And
Mhm.
something that I thought was really cute that I covered from the like post SummerSlam press conference thing was that Cody took a second to like shout out the fact that they sent out like someone from PR, someone from one within the company sent out to the talent like a little, it sounded like a PDF, honestly, that was like, here's a
Mhm.
picture and here's why this person is important, just so that like there is some praxis around if you're meeting someone for the first time, and kind of like so that just seems like they're doing a little bit extra to make like legend type folks like feel welcome, but also like have it be a positive environment. And like I I'm never one to speculate whether or not that's purely PR based, right? Because now you kind of have this paper trail of this, right? So
Yeah.
like I'm not one to say that. I think I lean naturally towards a little more suspicious. So like, or no, like kind of look at things from more of, I guess like not a business perspective, but kind of like, okay, nothing from any corporation is ever done just to be nice, right? Like there's always something to that. So
Always a hidden agenda.
there's some kind of something. But what
Yeah.
I do think is really cool is that they do seem to be, even at an internal level, like trying to make it a good experience for folks if they do come to visit. So
Mhm.
that's been really fun. And then like it was also fun I don't know, just pretty much every week, every show, there's somebody that's been there. So, like, yeah, last week was Jesse Ventura. It's been
Mm-hmm.
like some different like referees from the past, different like timekeeper type. Like, it's not necessarily big name folks, but it does seem like, everyone likes a little Triple H picture. So I think that's nice. I think it is nice. I wrote a whole article about Candice Michelle today, and I had to remember everything about Candice Michelle, and it was a little bit confusing because I was like, wait, like, didn't in my mind she was like there longer or something. Like in my mind, it was a lot longer than it was when I actually like went to write the article, like writing the dates. I was like, oh, that's okay. I for some reason extrapolated that, but yeah, it does cool. It is. Oh,
Yeah, it was super cool. And obviously, Mark Henry's son just got signed to WWE, so that was probably a big reason.
yeah, no, it was super that they were there. I was very
Oh
excited.
yeah. Where's Raw and Raw? Where's Raw? Fort Lauderdale next week.
Oh
So
yeah,
maybe we'll see. I don't know who's from Fort Lauderdale, but I'm not good with that
well,
stuff, knowing where everyone's from, unless it's like
I'm not good at
Seth
that.
Rollins or something, or like the ones that are like jammed in our head so much. Davenport, Iowa, and
Yeah. If it has like
the
that
ones that are
glitter,
jammed in our head.
we'll see. We'll have to keep our eye on that. I do think, I mean, I also think he does it from the heart. I think like an individual can do something from the heart. I do think
Yeah.
that the machine from there,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
like how it gets definitely funneled to the little dirt sheet girls who need things to write on a slow day. You know what I mean? Like I kind of think I can like see how that goes. But I think it's nice. And I did got very excited to see Mark Henry. I always get excited to write Mark Henry articles, to be honest. I don't even care like what he's doing. Okay. An aside, the thing that I love the most is that there are a handful of folks in this industry that you can kind of just tell based on the way that others react to them or speak about them that they're genuinely exceptional human beings. Yeah. And like the two that come off the top of my head are Mark Henry and Big E, honestly. Like I don't feel like I've ever heard anything that didn't make it sound like both of them are literal like iconic human beings. Like it doesn't even like forget every other athletic accolade, like just really very iconic humans. So I always get excited when you can talk about people that are good, just seems like he's a good guy. Yeah, so we got to see Jacob Henry, which I was very excited about. The next line program is always really cool to hear about in general. If you don't watch NXT, I would say check it out. If you don't watch NXT Level Up, you can go a level deeper. You can get even wonkier on this and watch that after SmackDown on Cuckoo on the Peacock. Don't get me started. Do you remember that time that Pat called it the cock and then he was like, I'm not allowed to call it the cock. They got mad and he did it again. Yeah. That was so good. Oh my God. Pat McAfee, I'm going to miss him so much. Football's dragging in the world. Okay. So we got a couple cameos tonight. We definitely got a kickoff, a promo from Rhea Ripley. Yep. Kind of how the show started. She ended up, coming face to face with Dominic and Liv. They came out up in the crowd, not like with them. Yeah, I just think like it's interesting the way that it got set up because I wasn't necessarily expecting the mixed tag match to come from it. So later in the show, it's like revealed that at Bash in Berlin, I got it right today. Bash in Berlin. It'll be a mixed tags between, so it's Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley teaming together against Dominic and Liv. So I don't know. Yes. Are you excited for that? I'm kind of excited for that.
Super. So I figured that's where they were going after, because like obviously Rhea and Damian have stayed connected after all this Judgment Day turmoil. Yeah. So I kind of felt like it was going this route anyway. So I'm really not shocked with that. I'm just more shocked that we got this much action this quick, which I love. Because WWE definitely tries to play the long card and keep us engaged for as long as they can until things get crazy and feisty. But things got pretty feisty to start Raw tonight. Like you said, Rhea comes out and says, I'm not dead. So until you get rid of me, I'm still going to be here to destroy you, Liv. And then Liv, like you said, Liv and Dom come out in the crowd. Of course, they're not going to go straight to Rhea. Like, why would you do that? We got to be smart here. Love Dom's promo. That was my favorite part. of the
Yes.
whole segment. Obviously,
Mhm.
obviously eating up his character, saying that she gives me tendies.
She gives me
She
tendies.
lets me play video games. She
Mhm.
lets me be my own man. And like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, she lets me be me. That was
Yeah.
my favorite part, man. Dom and Liv, and like Liv is getting on his level with the booze. It's
Yes.
getting. I'm loving it. And I'm sure they are too. This is great character work. One of my, I mean, I know we didn't get much of the Wyatts tonight, but this is definitely my favorite storyline right now on Raw. The Judgment Day, the turmoil, because I have a feeling where it's going, but I don't know where it's going because
Mm.
things are happening so quick.
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving the character development and all these different characters. Enjoying the babyface run of Damian Priest and Rhea, which I'm still getting adapted to.
Yeah, me
I
too, but
still
I like
think Damian lost the
it.
title too quick. I still wish Damian was champion. I'm still a little upset about that, but I'm just enjoying the ride and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. I feel like when I look at this story, I can't help but feel like there's got to be kids in junior high like eating this up. You know what I mean? Like this has got to be like so epic to someone who's younger. Like they are so obsessed. Like, can you even believe like he turned on her? You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's a whole like group chat somewhere of like 14-year-olds who are like really debating the merits of these relationships. I just think it's so cute. I I enjoy things in WWE that I feel like are a little bit of that like multi-generational piece where it feels like it's a little bit of like a throwback to a certain like weird funky time for us, but it's also like a very unique modern storyline as well. So it's something that,
Mhm.
if you're not going to be referencing 25 years of couples in WWE, it doesn't actually matter. Like what you're watching is pretty funny and pretty cool.
Mhm.
But when you go through like kind of a lens of just like a very funny like Eddie Guerrero and China combination now turning into this, like I just think it's fun. So it's a very it's something that is very unique to this form of storytelling. I think the only other, at least American medium, I think they do this similar thing in like the UK with like EastEnders and things, right? But like I think American soap operas are the only other thing that you have this sort of multi-generational context where it's like your grandma knows who this girl is, but then your mom knows who that girl is, and then you know who the third girl is, kind of a deal. So
Yeah.
it's very fun. Um okay. I appreciate this. Yeah. Okay, I appreciate it. The only thing that I don't appreciate about it is that I will never say anything negative about that man on the off chance that either DC or I are ever in with an arm's length of that man. I don't. I would prefer to
Not to
have
be.
zero on the record
Yeah.
critically about him.
Yeah.
um, you know what I will say about Gunther is that chubby Walter to current Gunther, like all are good. You know what I mean?
Oh
Every
yeah.
iteration of that has been so good. And it's actually wild to think it's all one man. Because if you kind of like it seems like similar characters, but it's like, no, that's one guy. Like when you go back, go check out that NXT UK stuff back in the day. If you get bored, if you're writing articles on a Thursday, nobody's causing
Right.
trouble on Twitter, you gotta have something on in the
Yeah.
background, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
I ain't got nothing to say about our champion.
yeah, no, I have
She
nothing to
gets me
say.
tendies. You like that too, Jeff? That was hilarious, bro.
So
That was
good.
like
She
one of
gets
my
me
favorite. That was my
tendies.
favorite quote of the night. She gets me tendies.
So good. Oh, also, yeah, she was so fast.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
the fact that she was already up the stairs, like, whoa, that's wild. Because
Yeah. They
I
had
don't
just
know.
cut the camera from her to them
Yeah, I didn't
because
feel like she
Damien
had
showed
enough
up.
time, and then all of a sudden she was up in
Nuts.
her grill. It was wild. I couldn't even imagine. That's like she sprinted up these stairs of this arena. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see like okay, there's a couple things I would love to see tonight from like a fan footage perspective. One would be I want to see how fast Rhea went up the stairs. I think it has to be like iconic. Like there's got to be she's taking like 4 of them at a time. There's no way that she wasn't. The other one is that camera shot where they have Bron Breakker like basically throwing like shot putting Sami Zayn over the barricade. I would like to see fan footage of that because the cameraman would have had to be like running behind Bron, like
To
trying
catch
to
up with him. Yeah.
speed with him. So like the only way that shot works is that you're imagining there has to be like a little cameraman behind, and it's just so funny. And like I just want to see what that looks like. So if you've seen that on Twitter, just do that. Honestly, I'm so inept at Twitter. I don't know what you do.
Yeah,
If you add me,
tag Amanda if you see a video of that. We want to see
any of those moments, because I love the fan footage like from inside the arena. It's so good. Yeah, so they're set up for Bash in Berlin.
Yep.
There was another. What else got? I thought there was another one. Oh no, you know what? I was expecting
the triple threat tag match to be at Bash in Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead, we get that next week.
We do. So we'll have to see how that goes. There was another wild Bronson Reed attack, which I felt like.
You felt.
Like I feel
you're
like
you're not feeling it.
I feel like so many things about it. Okay, here's one thing I feel about it. Every crowd is so bloodthirsty. They chant one more time.
More time.
Like last week it was Seth, and I was like, you guys are all chanting one more time at Seth. Then tonight it's R-Truth. You're chanting one more time. Like, no, this is awful. So that's the bloodthirstiness of the crowds is one piece of this puzzle. I just love R-Truth so much that I do think that was probably why it was an impactful person to do it to. Because if it was a whole thing of like him dropping the Miz, I don't think I would have cared that much. But like, yeah, R-Truth just like eating a million tsunamis. I didn't keep count this week. I do not know. I cannot tell you. I was like, not again. Pretty much like not again.
It was more than last week. I do think
it was more than last week. Yeah, agreed, Jeffrey. Truth did not need to catch a stray. I was just kind of heartbroken by it all. I don't know.
He did. Of course he did.
I mean, he has been putting Miz in some precarious positions. So
yeah, I think am I crazy to think that they're setting up Miz to turn on him?
I mean, I feel like
one day Miz is just going to get sick and tired of Truth putting him in these situations, and we're going to get heel Miz again.
I mean, I definitely think that's possible. I think part of that.
I kind of feel like that because, like, even when R-Truth first went up to him tonight, like Miz was just kind of out of it, like, different, wasn't as happy, was, a little bit more on the tense side, and then R-Truth once again books him in a match to get killed.
Yeah.
I think that could just be me. I could just be reading way too far into it, but I do that sometimes. But sometimes I'm right. I'm like.
You are right. Yeah.
Like Dakota Kai, I told you last week.
Yes, she is. And then now I wrote it tonight. It's like, I think it's already been announced, but it's like torn meniscus she needs surgery, and it's like 8 to 10 weeks. Oh, I was so sad. Yeah, you definitely. I don't think that you read too far into things. I think that you pick up on like more subtle clues before. I think something that the Triple H era, if you will, the Paul Levesque era, if you will, does really well is like it is sort of a stacking story of like if you don't notice it when it's a pebble, maybe you notice it when it's a rock. If you don't notice it when it's a rock, maybe you notice it when it's a boulder. But like you will eventually notice it. So I feel like the Judgment Day piece with Liv, those little things that like we're watching it quite closely, so those little things to us are pinging. But I think even if you're just like casually watching it, you still, by the time you get to before the premium live events, there's usually like a boulder, like there's something that's very clear for folks that are, and also I think kind of clear for like recap package purposes, because I do think the way that they I don't know, but I don't know if anyone hated SummerSlam. You were there, so it probably wasn't it probably didn't matter to you. But like, there was a really long pre-show. Like it was 3 hours, and I just thought it was actually really cool. Like the way that they put all the stories together. I do think that there is something to be said for having an option for people who don't follow it week to week, because I don't think if this fits. This is like a sport that never ends, that you like pay, you kind of, if you're going to pay this close of attention to it, it's quite time consuming. So I imagine not very many people are following it to the depth that, like, if you're doing it for a job kind of a thing. Yeah. So I like that they have little subtle hints first, and then things will become more clear later. So I do think something similar is like the Ivy Nile turn that was tonight.
Ooh.
And like these little,
Yeah.
like you've been able to see it, like we've been able to see it coming. But I do think that by the time you get to tonight, she gives her like one last chance, pretty much, and then is like, "Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that," and kind of is like ready to go. Mineralogy. I don't think so, Bill. I can't. I don't know. Are we talking about The Rock? To maybe which direction? To which direction can you fuck or whatever? Off. Remember that one? I like that. I like that The Rock's become like very much a memed thing that like even people who don't know what that is, like when I get that, I'm like, oh my god, he was talking to Cody Rhodes before WrestleMania. Like I get like very excited. People are like, nobody cares. Like I was just sending you this thing of The Rock. Like I didn't care, Amanda. Calm down. So yeah, Ivy Niles' turn. She beat that ass. She beat up Maxine Dupree pretty badly.
One of my favorite parts of the night.
It was a good, it was so good. What I loved from like a human level was after the turn, they're in the ring together. So like the Creed brothers are like holding up Ivy's hands, and the whole crowd starts doing the Kurt Angle, you suck at her. And she looked so fucking proud of herself. And I was like, yes, girl, yes, you go. Like you did this. It was so good. Oh my God. I
love watching characters that are trying to build themselves, right?
Yes.
Especially people from NXT that are still trying to find their way on the main roster, and then they get that moment, like Lyra when she came.
Yeah.
And the crowd at first was like, I don't really know who you are. And then like a couple weeks later, they're singing her song, doing the woos. And then like this moment tonight, that's exactly why we're on the same page here. It's exactly why it was my favorite. She got a big reaction from the crowd, and you could definitely see it on her face that she was eating it up and loved every bit of it. I am so proud of her. This is what we've been waiting on. I think she completes the puzzle. I think she's exactly what they were missing, because it just hasn't hit so far. It didn't feel right with the name, and then like the new look with I just wasn't feeling it. But now with Ivy Nile, I think that's going to bring everything together, and I think that's what's going to make it work.
I am excited. I also think that it sets up the world's like wildest, only in professional wrestling, like ladies triple threat, right?
Yeah.
Like a Maxine versus Ivy Nile versus Nikki Cross is like the most amazing thing. That could be like that's literally everything everyone loves about professional wrestling in like one situation together. I just think there's a lot of compelling stories they can tell. And I do fully believe that nobody understands what a bad bitch Ivy Nile is. I think like if you haven't been watching from NXT, and even if you have, like I think there's some social media moments that have been like, whoa, to me, that's how I know like this girl is not.
That was a big introduction. Big introduction to her tonight, but unfortunately, for Alpha Academy, it was a rough night. They lost the tag match too. Otis and Tozawa faced the Creed brothers of American Made. I don't really know how to say it. Are they just American Made now? I don't know. They'll always be the Creed brothers to me. I don't care.
Yeah, I did that too.
But yeah, the Creed brothers, because of that interference by Ivy Nile, it helped distract Otis and Tozawa, and the Creed brothers of American Made pin them 1, 2, 3, and then American Made gets some bragging rights to next week.
Yeah. Do you think that the Wyatt Six moves on, or this all stays in like a satellite of each other? Because I found the interesting piece that Maxine said family like 3 times, and no, they're my family. Like it just seemed like, oh, okay, they're not gonna let it go with the American Made, but I don't know how Alpha Academy fits in entirely.
I don't think they're done yet. For some reason, I feel like Chad's gonna face Uncle Howdy.
Yeah,
I think that might be how that chapter ends.
Yeah,
I don't know why. That's just a feeling. I really don't have anything to back that.
But
I feel like Uncle Howdy is the final boss. I think that is the guy you face before it is all over.
Yeah.
So I think Uncle Howdy and Chad Gable will face each other. Uncle Howdy will beat him and end him, and I think that'll be when they move on. So I don't think they're done quite yet.
Yeah. Ooh, I enjoy everything going on around that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What else happened here tonight?
Yeah, so we got to talk about the triple threat women's tag team championship match. We're getting that next week in case anyone missed it. Wasn't a whole lot, not a big crowd reaction at first, but definitely in the match, Io Sky got a big reaction from the crowd, which I loved because they're trying to make Damage Control babyface again, which is going to take a minute. They've been so heel-ish. I don't think that's a word.
Yeah, no.
For a long time. So like it's really hard to turn someone that's so strong on the heel side and then just out of nowhere, all right, they're babyface. Like it's hard to do that. And they're trying to do that with Damage Control. And I think this week it finally worked a little bit. Io Sky got a big reaction. Damage Control, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane faced Zoe and Shayna with the women's tag team champions, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire outside checking them out. It was supposed to be a number one contenders match, but the Unholy Union interrupted the match. Disqualification ended, and there was no winner. So you'll get a triple threat women's tag team championship match next Monday, and we'll be right here to recap it.
We'll find out what happens.
I said earlier, I think that's when we will get new champions. I think we're getting Shayna and Zoe.
Yeah. I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just hard to... Damage Control had the titles for so long.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine them going right back to Damage Control again.
Yeah. That would be kind of strange. Yeah. Yes, she did.
Telling you.
There's a few people that I just like would never want to tangle with, and I do genuinely feel like Shayna Baszler is one. Like she's so scary, but it's like also, yeah, she's just so scary. That's why.
Damian, we forgot to even mention. Didn't Damian Priest face Carlito?
He did face Carlito. It was in the beginning of the show. The only reason I think this is relevant is because while I was writing an article, I kind of put together that he's doing a similar Final Boss thing. So, like, he had JD, then it's like, what is it now? So, Carlito, then it's Dominic at Bash in Berlin. So, then I'm assuming Bad Blood, like, leading up to he and Finn at, like, actually Bad Blood. Yeah. I would also assume that's where there's like an actual title rematch for Rhea and Liv.
Yeah.
We still don't know. Well, I don't know. Charlotte Flair wasn't drafted to a brand, huh? If I'm them, I put her on Raw because that's a huge get for like a Netflix type of audience. Like
I don't think she was in the draft, but I think she's still technically on SmackDown.
I don't know. I sometimes look at the when you look at the like landscape of who's even out injured, sometimes it seems unimaginable. Like, where are they going to fit in? And then they're back and everything. So like CM Punk tonight popped in again. I do feel like the way that they are pulling the Drew and Punk like feud through as like a through line in other people's
I double checked real quick. Charlotte Flair isn't on the SmackDown roster right now.
Oh.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Just wanted to throw that out there. I had to check real quick because I thought she was on there, but nope. Not on Raw.
I have this conspiracy that they're just going to load up Raw for at least the beginning of the Netflix transition. That like anyone with a name that anyone knows or that has media training, like she definitely fits both of those. So I don't know why I've just assumed that she was going to Raw, but based on only that she has great media training and her name is Flair, right? Like I think those are the things that I don't know why I've thought that, but I keep thinking about factoring her in, like that. It doesn't. She have beef with Liv? I don't remember. Who was it? There's still somebody floating in the world who like.
The last we've seen of her, I thought her last big was with Rhea.
Then it is. Yeah. Then maybe that's how we back
Hmm.
in here.
Maybe.
Anyway, whatever. Who cares? Nobody's here for Amanda's fan fiction.
Yeah, I
Fan
like it.
fiction
I
hour.
am. I mean, I do it. Why can't you?
We can come back for a different for fan. I think fantasy booking is what people say. I just say fan fiction. I'm not trying to
Fan
be
fiction,
fan.
fantasy booking. Yeah, we're see, we did. You mentioned CM Punk and Drew McIntyre tonight. That threw us off, didn't it? I mean, CM Punk wasn't even supposed to be there.
Yeah, I enjoyed a little random run-in situation. I also enjoyed that then there was a Kathy Kelly interview where it just like cleared up the loose ends. Something I like that they do now is that they don't they close the loop on things, which I appreciate because I am a detail-oriented person, and when they didn't close the loops, I would be like, oh, what happened to the moment? Like I was that person. So like this was totally for like a dork, like a dweeb out moment where they're like, oh, here, let's explain it for you so you can't complain on the internet. But CM Punk said he had travel issues. He said that later he told a little white lie, but that he wanted to make sure that Drew was actually there because when he is there, Drew tends to not show up, which, is a fair analysis from CM Punk because that's pretty true. So, they definitely, yeah, their feud is continuing. You cannot
In the
believe.
middle of and like what better timing than in the middle of Gunther Randy Orton? Like
Mhm.
we're getting ready for a world title match at Bash in
Yeah.
Berlin with Gunther and Randy, and then out of nowhere Drew comes out, and then CM Punk comes out, who's not even supposed to be there. Like, are we getting a rematch of them with no Seth?
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a rematch of them with no Seth. I thought that it was I thought it was very fascinating that they had such a spicy segment. Like, had there not been this double angle, like had there not been like Drew into Punk, I think I would have had more speculation of like, oh my god, were they like it kind of stuck more with Gunther, like, right? So like I feel like Gunther and Randy Orton were that was like some spiciness.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I think Randy Orton is certainly asserting himself as more of an old school version of Randy Orton. It's a little bit less of like, I mean, he still referenced actually his wife and kids, but I do think that from, I would say like the Matt Riddle forward, Randy Orton has been very like warm and fuzzy. Like it's sort of an affable Randy Orton, and I think this was sort of a like a promo moment to reassert that he's actually not that affable of a guy. Like
Yeah.
he's kind of a dick. Like that's sort of the point of Randy Orton. But like in a good way. I don't know. I've always interpreted it as like a good way. Like he's just a nasty person, but like not as a person, but like the character, Anyhow.
So are you confused? Like, are we trading? Like, is that what they're hinting at? Like Adam
Okay,
Pearce
well,
on the
that was
phone?
very interesting because
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of it like that. But the minute he said that, I again went, oh, someone that
It's
has
like
like
both of them?
well, I just think that someone that has such a long history and like a long identity with the fandom. So if you haven't watched this in the last 20 years, you still probably know who Randy Orton is. So I hadn't actually considered that was a real flip that he was going that like. And I had never considered that if you lose your title, like you go take the guy's spot. You know what I mean? Like that whole like cross brand thing. I think
Mm-hmm.
we're in a new era. It's impossible
That's
to
right.
know. But that was a very fun idea that they could flip that all
Mm.
around. Because I
So if we do get Orton, who goes to SmackDown for Orton?
Gunther, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how I took it. Was that they were saying it was like I thought Randy was like, "Get ready to work on Fridays, bitch." You know what I mean? Like that was like your Fridays aren't free anymore because I'm coming to Raw. Like I was like, "Oh no!" Like you're gonna switch them like that. Like I hadn't actually considered that, but
Because
yeah.
I think everyone, at least what I read online, is everyone thinks it's going to be Randy for Sammy and Jay. That's what I was seeing online. I think that's just people saying that because of the bloodline. everybody's wanting Sammy and Jay to get involved, join Roman.
Do you think that it's actually Survivor Series is going to be Raw versus SmackDown again? And
No,
that
I think
that's
we're
how
gonna
you
get. I actually think we're gonna get a couple different War Games matches.
uh,
I think we're gonna get a Bloodline one, probably
yeah.
a Judgment Day one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what better way to end those two? I mean, Judgment Day. I think will end at War Games if they do
Yeah.
that. But the Bloodline, I don't think that's going to end at War Games. I think that's
No.
you can't end the Bloodline. That is literally the biggest storyline in professional wrestling. Like it's just not. You can't end it yet. You can't.
Yeah.
There's still so much that still needs to happen. Like you still haven't got Roman Rock, which was supposed to happen this year at WrestleMania. Like there's so much that needs to happen. So that can't end there. But I think I could see both having a War Games match at Survivor. I think those two feuds are so big and have gotten so important to the WWE universe right now. I could definitely see both. Where Rhea and Damian have a team, Liv and Finn, and then the rest of those goofballs.
Yeah.
I think that could be where we would go. That is another fantasy booking, like you would say. But I could see both.
Oh my god, sorry.
Yeah, it's getting.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I was trying to hide mine.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I do think that. Oh, there's so many exciting things coming up. I do actually think that it's back to sort of just like an exciting time where it's not that you don't know what's going to happen, but that you're curious to see what's next, sort of. Like, I don't think there's any stories that I go like, oh, I don't care. At least on Raw, I can't think of anything that I just am like, man, I don't care about this. Oh, well, correction.
New Day Final Testament.
Yes. So I love this New Day situation. I love a conglomeration of a New Day. I think that they should let Odyssey Jones in New Day. I am fine with it. I don't know. I think we should. I don't know. I actually
Absolutely
don't think. I think it should. I think Woods should go as like a single situation. Kofi gets two new guys, and then eventually Kofi gets replaced, and it's like a Menudo, but of New Day. It's a New Day Menudo. But neither here nor there. I do like that they are having a 6-man tag next week, so it will be the Final Testament guys. So it's carrying.
I like how they're not including Odyssey and New Day yet. It's New Day and Odyssey Jones.
Yes. Oh, Jeff. Oh, okay. Jeff is correct. Correct, Jeff. Pete Dunne. I love Pete Dunne.
We finally get this match next week too. I can't wait.
Oh, I think that's going to be so good. I like that they've really worked in like the storyline detail that like he didn't like to be little broed by Sheamus, and that was like definitely something that he wasn't receiving as warmly as it was portrayed, because it kind of wanted it to seem like, oh, he loved being butch, you know what I mean? And I do appreciate. Do I say it funny, Jeff? Xavier. I do say it. I say like Xavier Riddle in the Secret Museum on PBS Kids is how I say it. Funny story, my son was maybe going to be named Xavier, but we could not come to an agreement because I was saying Xavier and my children's father was saying Xavier, and I was like, no, it's Xavier, and we were like arguing, but yeah, Xavier was. Something that was also fun tonight was that Karrion Kross said, you need to show me some respect, Austin. And I think Michael Cole thought that Karrion Kross was just calling him his like shoot names. So he was like, I don't think Woods will, or Xavier Woods will, or whatever. But then it was like Pat had to go like Texas. Like it's like the city. Like we're okay. It's the city. Yeah.
I just it's Xavier. Yep. I just hope we, while I'm enjoying what's going on with Xavier Woods and Kofi, obviously we're gonna get the eventual split.
Yeah.
Can we just stop with New Day versus Final Testament? Like, I am just so over it.
Yeah, I don't really care. So hopefully next week it's like
over.
That'd be cool.
Do something, because like I'm not feeling that.
Why is Paul Ellering getting weirder and weirder? Is it like
every week?
is it like to be funny? Because now there's a full on like tape X cross or like an X on his forehead
Yeah.
with black like electrical tape. And I was just like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, I don't know. There's a couple, you know what? If there's out of all the WWE that I watch in a week, if there's only like 10 minutes of it that makes me go like, what? There is I'm not gonna name any names. But there's other corporations that I watch hours and hours of each week, and I more than once a show go, like, well, what are we doing? So yeah, I don't know. I guess it's okay. I think sometimes maybe. Do you think the Final Testament stands out because it is sort of like a charisma vacuum? Like there will be like Raw's pretty stacked, so then you have like great, and then there's like
and then they throw in
Cross to shit talk Kofi for the 8th week in a row, and so it's just like I think it's hard to compare. There's so many really compelling, really deep things going on Raw.
I just think, and this is gonna sound weird, and probably somebody's gonna disagree. That's fine. I just think there's too many damn groups.
There's a lot of groups.
I think we're just getting too group faction heavy.
There are a lot of
like growing, like, and a lot of that's gonna sound. I'm gonna sound old, but like growing up, we didn't have that many factions.
Yeah,
we had a few that stood out, and that pretty much ran the show. And then other than that, singles. But you know, I just that's my personal opinion. I think there's just too many factions, too many groups.
Yeah. Oh, something I just remembered that I got so excited about, and that like literally got the biggest pop ever from the little writers chat was Obafemi having a little stare down with Otis. Yes, let's go.
Open challenge tomorrow, Otis.
Yes, I hope so, Otis. Oh my god, I would love it.
We'll leave that for the NXT crew tomorrow.
We'll see what goes on with that. Yeah, I think pretty much it. Yeah,
we had one more match. I think that we missed the main event. I mean, we got to save the best for last.
Yeah.
I mean, banger. I mean,
it was a good one.
My favorite match of either title reign, better than any Sami's matches while he was champion, in my opinion. Great match, great way to end Raw. It was good. Like, I mean, Sami Zayn got the first fall. It was a best 2 out of 3. Sami got the first one. Bron Breakker got the second one, and then it came down to literally the final minute of the show, and Bron got it from him with the spear in midair. Sami jumping off the turnbuckle. Bron Breakker gives him the spear in midair. 1, 2, 3, and still, I'm so excited for Bron. I mean, we talked about it, watching these people grow from NXT. Bron Breakker main event once again. We end Monday Night Raw with Bron Breakker in the new era of WWE. I love it. Everything about it.
What I enjoy so much about Bron Breakker is I do think that he will become that kind of like modern in-between character, because there isn't really one of those. And I feel like it looked so cheesy in NXT. Do you remember when he first, what do his tights say? They say badass or something?
They say that now.
Or meaner than mean or something was like what they used to say. It was something crazy. I was like, what? Meaner than evil, maybe?
Something like that,
It said something weird, and it was just like, what? And I do think that they've sort of like honed that over time. And I did see, like, what was the article I read earlier today? I didn't write it, but there was like a quote where he was saying that both Paul Heyman and CM Punk have been pretty formative with like helping him with his character. And I was just very fascinated by that. Yeah, meaner than evil. I was fascinated by that because I do think that he's someone that you can see going in that direction, like very much in a CM Punk, Paul Heyman helmed in between guy. What did they say? Michael Cole said something tonight that was interesting. He was like, he takes no BS. And they like, I think they're just, I think they have an opportunity to have like a Stone Cold-esque figure that is a little more organic than what they have tried to do in the past. Because I think they try sometimes to fabricate that feeling, and it doesn't always land. Like, it doesn't always come across. I think, I don't know, Bron Breakker is a pretty good one. I also think anybody who has a barking for their like You know, they're like little ring chant situation.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one because there's people out there just like woof, and they don't even know, they don't care. They just heard everyone else doing it. It just sounds so good. Like he just sounds like a fan favorite, even
Mhm.
though I don't really know when it happened, right? I think it kind of just like came out
I
of nowhere.
still think he's supposed to be a heel, though.
I think he is too, but I think we all
That's
just
what's
sort
so
of
funny
love
about
him.
it. Like he's clearly supposed to be the heel. That's what makes
Yeah,
it so funny. I'm just excited. This is what we wanted for him, right? When he first came
yeah,
to Raw, I remember we talked about it, and
yeah,
I think you brought it up actually when he first came, like how excited we were to watch him win his first championship, and we were right here to talk about it. And look, he's the main event a couple of times already since being on Raw, and is the Intercontinental Champion. And I think he said it after SummerSlam. He said he dares any man that thinks he's man enough to come take it from him.
yeah. We'll see how that goes. I'm excited to see future
Yeah,
feuds. I wasn't over it with Sammy, but I was a little bit over it with Sammy. So
yeah.
I'm excited to
I
see what
think
he does.
everyone was. And we got a big week. We got a big week next week. We'll see Pete Dunne, Sheamus, one on
Mm-hmm.
one. We got a triple threat women's tag team championship, Unholy Union against Pure Fusion Collective. Ugh. Wow. And Damage Control.
I
I'm
gotta
not, I'm
find what
sorry.
like
That name
yoga
is awful.
studio in my town
Pure
is named
Fusion
that.
Collective, the 90s group,
Yeah,
the one hit wonder.
yeah. And they had like a signature dance move.
Yeah, I was going to say they had a signature dance move,
And like
signature
the one
pose.
song that goes with the signature dance move. Yeah.
What was their song? What was their one hit wonder? What was their song title?
Um Camel toe.
We got
At
a
first,
clip.
I thought Muffin Top, like 30 Rock, how she has Jenna Maroney had a song called Muffin Top. And I was like, oh, I can't say Muffin Top. You're just stealing a joke from 30 Rock. So then, yeah, Camel Toe. And then the dance was like, like you just actually pulled your pants up, like, like in a Steve
Yo,
Urkel manner. So,
yo, that is great. Pure
okay,
Fusion
go to
Collective,
bed,
yo.
Amanda. It's time to go to sleep,
That's
Mama.
right.
What is going on? I love a little unhinged moment. Please do send in your super chats and your body slam. Nope, 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 nope. Slamchats.com.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah. You can sponsor Besties After Dark, and that's where you can hear all the best comedy. We should have Besties Patreon. I'm not gonna lie about that.
We should.
Jeff,
100%.
would you give us $5 for this, Jeff?
Yeah, hook us up.
We
Hook
just
us
need
up.
one. I just need one person to give me $5 for this. It'll make me feel like I'm cool, like everyone else.
I
Yeah.
am
So
dying on that.
yeah, it's the signature dance,
Camel toe.
the camel toe. I'm gonna make an AI song. I think you can do that now. It's like very easy because I heard one the other day about 90 Day Fiance that someone made, and it was like
Oh, really?
very funny. So yeah. So the camel toe.
By
Watch
Pure
this
Fusion.
space.
Pure Fusion Collective. Here's their hit from '93.
Mm-hmm.
Camel toe.
1993 for sure. Camel toe. Do the camel toe. Cover the camel.
They gotta.
Okay, no,
They
I gotta
cannot.
go. Okay, this
They
is getting
cannot stick
done.
with that name. That's how we're ending this show. They can't stay with that name. They gotta find a
No,
new
please don't cancel this showcast for like the millionth week in a row. This is the second week in a row I've directly asked to please not fire me. Okay, well, cover your camel toes this week, friends. That's my pep talk for the day. Enjoy this week of wrestling. I think that this is gonna be a good one. I also think that the next couple weeks are a little bit out of control as far as like like you think this is unhinged, Amanda? Baby, wait till we get until like
name.
Monday the second. Wait till I'm like 3 weeks deep of no days off and just watching like 10
Wait.
hours a day of wrestling. It'll be so ridiculous. But yeah, we've got a lot coming up. There's so many events, so many fun things. Thanks for checking us out. Please do all the things, like it, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Um, you know, all that good stuff. It's free. You know what I mean? If you like
And
this
it's
right
all good.
now, if you hit that like, if you're just like thumbs up, thumbs up. It's you didn't pay for that or anything. Like, it's cool. And you know what? If you subscribe and like you don't watch anything else next week when you see us pop on and be like, oh, okay, never mind. You can just get out. You know what I mean? We won't even know. We won't know. We won't take it personally either. So just check it out. See what you can see. There's a lot of good stuff on here. But we'll let you go. Thank you so much. Oh, we appreciate you, Jeff.
Appreciate you, Jeff.
Jeff is so fun. Where is who is not in that chat today is MDB.
MDB wasn't here.
Where's MDB?
Oh
no. Okay. Well, we'll see you next week, guys. I will. Thank you. Take good care. We appreciate you. We love you. Follow us wherever you follow people. I'm going to push end stream now so that there's not the awkward additional seconds of me not knowing